Peter. Today I'm going to tell you about a boy named Jack who lives with his mother. The name of the fairy tale that I'm going to tell you is Jack and the Beanstalk. Once upon a time, there lived a widow and her son Jack. Jack's father had been dead a long time. He had died from a broken heart. When all of the money he had been paid for, his crops was stolen. Times had been hard for Jack and his mother. They were poor. They had sold most of their furniture to buy bread. Their little cottage was practically empty. The only thing left of any value was Daisy. Here's their cottage. And here's their cow, Daisy. Every morning she gave milk, which Jack took to the market and sold. But one sad day, Daisy gave no milk, and then things looked bad indeed. Never mind, mother, said Jack. We must sell Daisy. Trust me, to make a good bargain, and away he went to the market. As Jack walked down the road toward the market, he met the butcher. Good morning, said the butcher. Where are you going? I am going to the market to sell my cow. It's lucky I met you, said the butcher. You may save yourself the trouble of going so far. I will buy your cow right here. With this, the butcher put his hand in his pocket and pulled out 5 curious-looking beans. I will give you these magic beans in exchange for your cow. If you plant them tonight, they will grow up and reach the sky by tomorrow morning. Done, cried Jack. He took the beans and ran all the way home to tell his mother how lucky he had been. His mother was horrified. Off to bed she went. She cried. She was so angry that she threw the beans out of the window. And poor Jack went to bed and cried himself to sleep. When Jack woke up the next morning, he ran to the window to see if the beans had grown. There beside his window was growing a giant beanstalk. It stretched up and up into the sky as far as Jack could see. Jack jumped out the window and began to climb the beanstalk. He climbed up and up and up into the clouds. When at last the stalk ended, Jack found himself in a new and beautiful country. In the distance, he saw a huge castle. Jack walked straight to the castle. It was tremendous and much too big for people his size. Jack was very curious. He slipped under the door and went inside. There he saw a large table. On the table were piles of shining jewels and a big bag of gold coins. Jack recognized the big bags that the gold coins were in. They were his father's money bags. All of a sudden, the castle floor began to shake with thunderous noise. Jack realized the noise was footsteps. He heard a deep booming voice from down the hall. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Jack was frightened. He could now see the mean, ugly giant coming down the hallway. Trembling, he reached up on the table, grabbed one of the money bags, and ran as fast as he could. He slipped under the door, raced back to the beanstalk, and scurried back to his cottage. So now he's back to his cottage. Jack and his mother were now quite rich. They had everything they needed and most of what they wanted, but Jack was not satisfied. He wanted more. So while his mother was away at the market, he climbed up, up, and up, and up until he reached the top of the beanstalk. Jack ran to the castle and slipped under the door. He wanted to grab another bag of gold coins. As he snuck toward the room with the great table, he saw something unbelievable. The giant was sitting at the table and he was talking to a fine white goose. Lay, said the giant. The goose at once laid a beautiful gold egg. Lay, said the giant. She laid another golden egg. Lay, said the giant. She laid a third golden egg. Then the giant stopped. He sniffed the air. He had a mean look on his face. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. With a fearful roar, the giant seized his oak tree club and dashed after Jack. Jack hid under the table. The giant brought down his mighty club and smashed the table to pieces. The goose fell to the floor. Quickly, Jack scooped up the goose and ran to the door. The giant chased after Jack, but he was clumsy and he tripped over his own foot and he fell. Jack started down the beanstalk, lickety-split. He reached the ground while the clumsy giant was still trying to get back up on his feet. Jack took an axe and cut down the beanstalk. Now the giant would never chase him again. Jack skipped into the house to show his mother the goose that would lay golden eggs, and the three of them, Jack, his mother, and the goose, lived happily ever after. The end. We talked about the beans. They threw the beans out of the window because they were poor. And after they threw the beans out of the window, after a while, they were able to see a beanstalk. So we're going to try to do something with beans, using beans to see what happens. So the items that we're going to need is, you're going to need a Ziploc bag, paper towel, beans, some water, and you're going to need sunlight. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to open my Ziploc bag. I'm going to moisten the paper towel with water. Make sure I get water on the paper towel. I'm going to place the paper towel in the Ziploc bag. So here's the paper towel. I'm going to place it in the Ziploc bag. And here's my beans. I'm going to place the beans in the Ziploc bag on top of the paper towel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have all 5 beans in the Ziploc bag. I'm going to close it. And we're going to need sunlight. We're going to need sunlight to get it growing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this by sunlight. And I want you to watch this. I want you to watch this. And then on Wednesday, we're going to check to see what happens. And I want you to be able to tell me what happens. Thank you.